Hello, and welcome to #Enough Plays to End Gun Violence. My name is Meredith Healy, and I'm one of the directors who worked on the reading tonight. This Providence-based reading is produced by the Wilbury Theater Group. We'd like to thank our audience and our community for supporting staged readings and new work at the Wilbury Group, and for engaging with us in challenging conversations. Thank you for joining us this evening. The #Enough nationwide reading is the culmination of a year-long theater activism initiative that started with a call for submissions from teens to write 10-minute plays that confront the issue of gun violence. Today, over 50 communities across the country will come together for the nationwide reading of this year's top 7 plays written by writers of a generation that has known the threat of gun violence for their entire life. Directly following the reading, I will be hosting a talkback with Christine Bandoni of Moms Demand Action, Rhode Island. We will discuss the impact of these plays and how one can get involved with groups addressing gun violence in their community. Before we begin, please join me in taking a moment of silence to remember the 26 lives cut short by a senseless act of violence 8 years ago at Sandy Hook Elementary School, as well as the countless other lives that are lost every day due to gun violence in the United States.
#Enough Plays to End Gun Violence. Prologue. More than 200 Americans are shot and wounded every day. 100 more Americans are killed with guns every day. 8 of those killed every day are children and teens. Earlier this year, #Enough called on teen writers to channel their fear and frustration, their anxiety and anger, and yes, their hope into 10-minute plays that tackle the issue of gun violence. This is what they had to say.
Loaded Language by Elizabeth Shannon. Scene 1. A blank stage except for Kirsa, Amira, JJ, Logan, and Will, who are sitting or standing. Lights rise on each character when they speak their first line.
Before last year, my school basically let anybody in the building. I mean, they still do, but they installed these security doors, so anyone entering has to go through the front office before entering the rest of the building.
We all thought it was stupid. It made getting to class much harder.
And it wasn't like they were going to stop anyone.
Our school has a lot of doors. Doors by the gym, doors by the theater. Sometimes kids prop them open so they can sneak out of school and come back later.
A shooter could enter from any number of those doors, totally undetected.
And even if the security doors did stop them from going immediately into the hallway, they could just shoot the people in front of the office and then walk through. The doors are pointless.
Not to mention, a lot of times school shooters are students. They just walk in with everyone else at the beginning of the day and no questions asked.
It would be so easy. I mean, don't call the cops. I'm not a killer or anything, but I could think of a million ways to sneak a weapon in.
My teacher told me a story about this one kid who made a threat, and the principal and the police showed up in the teacher's classroom with bulletproof vests first block to take him out of school.
We don't have lunch periods here. We just have 1 hour of free time.
And there isn't enough space in the cafeteria, so people basically just eat wherever.
It's kind of gross, actually.
My friends sit at the front of the school, but I never stay there too long. The reason why is simple. If a shooter was going to come in, and lunch would be the perfect time to, we'd be the first ones dead.
I pick what
choir room is connected to the stage. I take a lot of classes there because, well, if someone comes in, there are a million places I could hide. I know them all. There's the catwalk, the dressing rooms, the backstage bathroom no one knows about, and these giant prop and costume rooms with big steel doors.
The choir room even has its own exit out of the building, right near the parking lot where I park my car.
You have the best chance of survival in that room.
So I'm in it as much as possible.
One day, my dad was driving me to school. He was listening to a report about a school shooting that had happened the day before. Why didn't he turn it off? I was sitting there on my way to school.
Oh my God.
My mom told me once how she worries every time she drops me off for school. And, what if she doesn't see me again? Then she told me that she realized her worrying probably doesn't even compare to how I feel walking into school every day. She was right.
Say goodbye to my parents, and it always crosses my mind that I might not see them again. I just shoved that thought away.
I've planned what my last text will say in case something happens.
I was a fourth grader when Sandy Hook happened. That could have been me.
Scene 2. Sudden shift. Bright lights, reminiscent of the fluorescent school lighting, rise on a school classroom a few minutes before class lets out. JJ, Kirsa, and Amira are standing in a group, talking, although Kirsa is looking at her phone and not really paying attention. Will and Logan are talking close by.
So on Saturday, I'm going to the movies, and then on Sunday, I have to work.
Damn, I was gonna ask if we could hang out.
Could we on Monday?
Did you hear that Chad and Ella broke up?
Monday, I have swim.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm
Chad's
busy.
Super
Tuesday?
pissed about it.
Why?
I don't know.
Hey, I'm
If I
free.
were Ella, I would not have messed with Chad. he has,
Yeah,
like,
I think.
Right?
Wednesday
We're
works.
gonna shoot this place up.
No way.
I think so. And I know his dad keeps guns in their house. I went over there once and Chad showed them to me. So he could totally do it. He and Ella had the same fourth block, so my money's on him doing it then.
Oh shit, that's in like 10 minutes?
Yeah?
Did you hear them?
Who?
Logan and Will.
No, what did they say?
Something about, was it Chad?
Oh, and Ella? Yeah, they broke up.
No, he was talking about Chad shooting this place up.
Oh,
What?
are you sure that's what he said? That doesn't seem like Chad.
Well, I overheard, and I wasn't talking super loud. I mean, I really just heard shooting, and yeah, I could have misunderstood, or
It's probably just that, or they were joking around. You know Logan, he's an asshole.
yeah.
So, are you going to the game on Friday?
I was thinking about it.
You should ask Carlos to go with you.
Oh my god, he would never say
Should
yes.
we talk to Miss Albee?
And tell her what?
What I heard.
I mean, if you think you heard it correctly.
Did you hear correctly? You're kind of freaking me out.
You okay, Kirsa? You look kind of...
What if Chad is planning that? Like, what if he has a gun? I have to cross the main hall to get to my next class. He could be there.
I'm sure he won't be.
Here, how about we tell Albie, like you said, just so you have some peace of mind. I'm sure it's nothing, but you don't look too good.
Yeah, look, Albie is right over there. Let's go, okay?
I don't want to.
I'll go. She might ask to talk to you, though.
Just tell her that
I'm sure it'll be fine. We'll wait right here.
Thanks, Amira.
No problem.
You really think you heard that?
I don't know.
Well, I'm sure everything will be okay. That kind of stuff doesn't happen here.
Not yet.
You know Logan and Will, they always say stupid shit. Don't get me wrong, I believe you, just trying to
Yeah, thanks.
I told her.
And
She's calling admin. What did you expect?
I don't know. I mean, I figured she'd call, but still.
And she said she's talking to Logan and Will.
What if I heard wrong? Oh, God. Logan is gonna know that it was me. He's gonna tell everyone I'm a pussy and shit.
Hey, better safe than sorry.
Are you okay, Kirsa?
It was just my anxiety, being trapped in a room with no doors and hearing that. It's not super great.
Yeah, I figured. I mean, I feel the same way.
Like a panic attack?
I guess, yeah. You think they'll get pulled out of class?
Maybe. Probably in 4th period.
I mean, there's only 2 minutes left of class. You know the bells are automatic and admin won't make an announcement.
Yeah, and the intercoms don't even work. You can't even classrooms. This school is seriously a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Who snitched?
For real, why can't anyone take a joke?
They don't know it's you.
They could have seen you talking with Albie.
Who cares? They won't get in trouble anyways. Everything's good. Just go to 4th block and try to forget about it.
It didn't happen. We're fine.
Exactly. We're fine. Nothing happened. And it's not going to.
Not today, at least.
Scene 3. A gradual shift, not as sudden as the previous scene change. Lights rise back on the chorus setting we saw in the first scene.
We all think it. No one ever thinks that won't happen.
Teachers have closed doors discussions with us about it.
Sometimes you'll be in class and you'll hear a pop
Pop.
from down the hall.
The entire class freezes.
We all look at each other and have this moment of, holy
Holy shit, it's
It's
happening.
And it'll just be a balloon or a science class doing an experiment or something, but
You feel it in your chest, that fear that your life is about to end.
Teacher once told me that I don't have to worry about my school being shot up. Her reasoning? I go to an inner city school. She said that most schools with shooters are rich, predominantly white. So I'll be fine, but what about the kids at rich schools? They might not be.
When I was a freshman, one of my friends in a neighboring school told me someone was planning on shooting up his school at 1 o'clock. The school knew about the threat, but all the kids were still there. I made my friend text me every 5 minutes and let me know that he was okay.
My friends will text me, don't go to school tomorrow. This kid posted that he's gonna bring a gun.
Every high school in my county, hell, probably my state, has had a shooter threat. And most have had more than one.
But it's not just schools. It's concerts.
Movies.
Festivals.
And I don't even have to worry about being killed by a police officer while walking down the street.
I could be killed for jogging or walking my dog after dark. This isn't hypothetical. This is now.
is now.
Blackout. End of play. Malcolm by Debkanya Mitra.
He said his name was Malcolm. I said, like Malcolm X. He said he didn't believe in violence.
He had a soulful voice. Played a mean guitar too. We played a diner in Atlanta, and the owner called him a couple different slurs. They almost fought, but I held him back, said he deserves a punch, but don't give it to him. Next day, he said he needed to go home.
Where's home? I asked, and he said, Saponi Falls.
Most people don't take hitchhikers anymore. They're worried, but I'm not. I picked him up down in Atlanta and I dropped him off in Saponi Falls.
We grew up there, Maryland, a suburb of DC. Nothing big ever happened in Saponi Falls. People there are liberal. I think it could be one of the most liberal places in the US outside California. Everyone was surprised when they heard the news. Everyone trusted the police. It wasn't supposed to happen to him. It wasn't supposed to happen here, but there's a video, and you can see it. And you can hear each word the police said, and you can hear my brother's loud breath trying to cling to life.
I told him not to leave Atlanta, but he had to leave. He had something to tell his sister.
He texted me telling me that he had something important to say, and he kept saying sorry. Sorry, 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 he said. I should have told you earlier, but I didn't. I was excited that he was coming home. He hadn't been back for a while. We all thought he was mad at us or something, but he's not like that. He's quiet, observant.
Introspective.
He's not the kind of guy that complains or gets angry ever. He just notices things. When we were younger, he noticed the things that I missed. Once we were driving past a Black Lives Matter protest in the neighborhood, and he told me, "Isn't it ironic? There isn't a single Black person there." It must have been hard for him to grow up in Saponi Falls. Our parents adopted him. I don't know the details. Malcolm never asked.
He was dead set on learning more about his biological parents when I met him in college. I was studying African American studies with a minor in statistics, and he was studying classical music.
I asked him why he wanted to do folk, and he shrugged.
After he said that, he was silent. He was silent through the Carolinas and through Virginia, but somehow we understood each other.
I didn't ask him anymore. I get it. There's something about the music that makes the pain of a dead-end job, dead-end life melt away.
Well, we did it. We went through the databases of internet records and phone books, and we found them. He was born in Brooklyn. His father died in jail. His mother died while having him. When we left college, he moved to Brooklyn. I went to law school and became a civil rights lawyer.
It wasn't supposed to happen here. It wasn't supposed to happen to him.
Malcolm's case is the most important, most personal one I've ever worked on. It keeps me up at night. Brooklyn taught him that his great-grandparents were sharecroppers on a Georgia plantation. He said he had to go.
I couldn't understand why he kept moving, but he said he was fine. He said that he'd tell me, and he sent me postcards from Atlanta. It's a big city. He said there were a lot of opportunities teaching guitar and with his band.
I wonder what he saw in Georgia. We drifted apart.
Somehow he drifted away from all of us and into music instead.
We played clubs and weddings and birthday parties. We played parks and restaurants. We played a diner, and he realized he was done.
I think he finally found his anger.
He was deflated.
He was tired when he stepped into my car. He carried a guitar case.
I asked him if he was going to come back to Atlanta. But he was quiet.
I don't like how quiet he gets sometimes, like he's celebrating his own funeral. I don't know very much about the Saponi, but there was a paragraph on them in one of the textbooks. Their language incorporates words of African origin because the Saponi were one of the tribes that were known for sheltering runaway slaves. And sometimes swimming in this ocean of oppression where justice seems to be what's in shackles. I wonder why.
He never came home.
I've got words for the officer who murdered my bandmate.
We held a vigil, and people came from everywhere.
To the man who murdered my bandmate. You took away my best friend. You took away a man. Did it because of your hatred.
We had gotten into the city, Saponi Falls, and night had fallen. I stopped at the gas station near the park. He thanked me and left into the night. When I came back from the gas station, before getting into my car, I saw him walking in the park, whistling. He looked happy and calm, peaceful. And suddenly there was a fury of activity. Things moved so fast. An officer walked by and I pulled out my camera. The details are fuzzy, but you can see it. Hear it.
You can see the way the officer violates Malcolm's body.
You can hear Malcolm's loud heart.
The officer pinned him down to the concrete footpath of the park, and a shot rang out.
Ms. Martin's Malaise by Adelaide Fisher.
Oh my gosh.
Scene 1. Ms. Martin is on cafeteria monitoring duty, drinking an iced coffee. The Fates behind her. Off to the side, Maria has a balloon popping fundraiser set up. Fate number 2 and Fate number 3 always address one another when speaking, while Fate number 1 stares straight out, addressing the audience in the chipper tone of an overexcited newscaster, standing perfectly still and smiling when not speaking. Before each of her lines, there should be a ping, like the notification you might hear from an iPhone, and as she is saying them, Ms. Martin should check her phone and react to them. All 3 are dressed the same as Ms. Martin, but in a general grayscale version of her outfit. Ms. Martin should react to what the Fates are saying, but should never look at them or address them directly. The Fates, however, can all hear one another.
Are there too many kids in here?
Recommended headline. Survey finds 8% of public schools have enrollment that exceeds their permanent capacity by more than 25%.
I feel like there's way too many kids in here.
Ms. Martin starts trying to count the amount of kids in the cafeteria. Fate number 3 starts nonchalantly sipping an iced coffee and should continue to do so throughout the scene.
I actually think there's less kids in here than normal.
Recommended article. Skipping school. Time out adds up.
Remember all those missing assignments we've been putting in?
No, there's definitely more. Do you feel how hot it is in here? Is the air conditioner broken?
Continue reading. New research quantifies the impact of extreme heat on learning.
What would we do if something happened with this many kids in here? How would they all get out?
They wouldn't.
Oscar enters and goes over to Maria.
Hey, Maria. What's all this?
Fundraiser for student government. It's $1 to pop a balloon and you could win a prize. Want to try?
Sure.
He hands her $1 and she pops one of the balloons. Ms. Martin jumps. Fate number 2 hits the floor like a bomb is going off.
Oh my God, it's literally happening right now. Everyone needs to evacuate, okay? Let's go.
That was a balloon popping, idiot. How would you even get everyone's attention?
The bell rings and Maria picks up her poster board with the balloons on it to reveal a laptop and exits. Oscar crosses in front of Ms. Martin.
Hi, Oscar.
Hi, Miss Martin. See you 4th period.
Oh, hang on a minute. I noticed you haven't been turning in your reading assignments for the Odyssey the past couple weeks. Is there any reason why?
I was going to get caught up this weekend, but I was busy.
Oh, okay. Well, if anything is going on, you know you can tell me. Just try and get caught up. We have a discussion on Friday, and you always have really good insight.
The minute bell rings and Oscar gives her an uncomfortable nod and smile before leaving.
If anything is going on, you know you can tell me. I can't believe we're really talking like that.
The Odyssey. I love that book.
You would.
I hope they're enjoying it.
Miss Martin goes over to the table where the balloons were and sits down in front of the laptop. She takes off her walkie-talkie and sets it on the table next to her. The Fates gather back around to her and she starts working.
That was way too close back there.
That was quite literally nothing. Why are you so tense all the time?
I'm not tense, and at least I had a plan. What were you going to do?
Oh yeah, great plan. Oh no, everybody get out. I know what to do. We've had how many lockdown drills this year?
Recommended article. Lockdown drills. An American quirk out of control.
We've never done one in the cafeteria.
That's because they're completely pointless.
Continue watching. Tonight, we go inside a company that profits off of staging realistic shooter drills.
No, they're not.
A small part of the $2.7 billion school security industry.
They prepare students for the worst.
Maybe, but at what cost?
Message from Sarah. This is what I've been trying to tell Francis for ages. Saw you jump in the cafeteria, by the way. LOL. Link. Experts worry active shooter drills in schools could be traumatic for students.
The walkie-talkie crackles to life with someone yelling unintelligibly over it, making Ms. Martin and Fate number 2 jump again.
See? Look at you. You're a constant wreck. For what?
I just like to be prepared.
For the inevitable, you mean?
No, it's not like that. Don't say that.
Fate number 2 and number 3 continue arguing silently for a beat as Ms. Martin works, looking more and more weary. They switch back on.
Why do you have to be such a pessimist all the time?
I'm not a pessimist. I'm a realist.
Ms. Martin sits back down at her desk and sighs as the bell rings.
Recommended reading. Pessimists are 35% more likely to suffer from a heart attack or stroke than optimists, according to a recent meta-analysis of data.
See, all of your negativity is killing you.
You're not an optimist either.
Yes, I am.
Then why do you worry about everything all the time?
All of a sudden, Maria bursts into the classroom.
Miss Martin, I need to tell you something.
What is it, Maria?
Fate number 2 looks at Fate number 3 nervously as she rolls her eyes.
Do you promise you'll believe me?
Of course. What's going on?
Well, last period, I was in art class with Oscar, and
Spit it out already.
Shh. He has a gun with him in his backpack. I saw it. And I know you have him next period, and I just...
Okay, thank you for telling me, Maria. Go back to class right now, please. I promise I'll take care of it immediately.
Maria leaves and Ms. Martin stands still, frozen with fear and uncertainty.
We don't have to tell anyone.
We should just confront him.
Message from Parson County Library. Overdue book notice. 10 ways to make a confrontation work for you.
He's such a good kid.
We have to do something.
What am I saying? We can't get in trouble for this.
What do we do? You're the one who's supposed to be ready for this.
10 people liked your comment. When I think about dealing with a school shooting, the word unprepared comes to mind.
Oh my God, didn't we just email him saying we were going to have a conference with his parents if he didn't get caught up on the reading? What if we pissed him off?
This is not about us. Stop being so self-centered and focused. What do we do?
I don't know. I'm scared.
Why is this happening?
The bell rings, snapping everyone out of it. Ms. Martin starts to get up, but hesitates.
Message from Quotey. Quote of the day. Thinking will not overcome fear, but action will. W. Clement Stone.
Ms. Martin nods, ready now. She picks up her walkie-talkie and moves back into the courtyard, the Fates following her. Oscar walks by and sees Ms. Martin staring at him.
Hi, Miss Martin. Everything okay?
Grab him.
No.
Oscar gives Ms. Martin an awkward half smile, but then realizes what she knows. There's one terrible beat before he starts to run and Ms. Martin grabs his backpack. Blackout. Scene 2. Lights up on a similar desk to Ms. Martin's, differing only in the fact that it belongs to the principal. Oscar is sitting on one side of it and Ms. Martin is taking a seat on the other. The Fates are already in place behind Ms. Martin.
Miss Francis said you were begging to talk to me before your parents got here. Why?
Because I like your class, and I probably won't be coming back to it. And I like you, and I didn't want to leave with you thinking I was some troubled, burnout school shooter.
Isn't that exactly what he is?
I want you to know the truth.
Is this going to get us in trouble?
You did tell the whole truth to Miss Francis, right?
Yes, and the police, and soon my parents, which defeats the whole purpose of...
What is he rambling about?
Oscar, just start at the beginning. I'm listening, okay?
Okay. I guess, well, I'm not blaming him, but this is all really because of my brother.
Your brother? I don't follow.
Oscar gathers his thoughts for a moment, trying to figure out where to start.
Why do you think he did it?
I don't know.
I bet he was getting bullied.
Recommended from the headlines. New study shows about 20% of students aged 12 to 18 have experienced bullying.
Or on drugs.
I said I don't know. Please shut up.
Jesus, okay. Stop taking everything so seriously.
Can you just explain a bit more, please?
My brother hangs out with the wrong crowd here. Sometimes him and his best friend get into big fights. I knew they were arguing recently, and I heard my brother say to his other friend he was finally going to do something big, finally shut him up. And sometimes when my brother's mad, he does things he wouldn't normally do. He gets himself into trouble, but he's not a bad person. Usually he can be really nice. And I walked in on him in my parents' room. He was holding my dad's gun, and he jumped when I asked him what he was doing. And I just got really scared of what he was going to do. So I decided to hide it, and I was pretty sure he wasn't going to go through my backpack. So I put it there, and I was so anxious the whole weekend that he was going to ask me where it went, and that I forgot to do the reading. And but then the next day it was Monday morning, and I was late and in a rush, and I forgot to take it out. And then when I got to school, I saw it was in there, and I freaked out. And then I just...
Oscar, why didn't you tell someone what was going on?
Someone? I think you mean me, and you know why.
I was scared. And I was worried that you might be mad at me for not doing my work, and you wouldn't listen to me. And I didn't want my brother to get in trouble. I want him to be able to graduate and get a job and turn his life around.
Oh, Sarah had his brother last year, didn't she? What'd she call him? A little shit?
Poor kid. What about him?
If we knew about his brother, how did we not know about this?
2 missed calls from Mom. Message from Mom. I just got your voicemail. Are you okay?
How would we have known?
It's sweet that you care so much about your brother, Oscar, but what about you? You're so smart.
I know, okay? I'm sorry. I get it. I let everyone down. You all thought I was different from him.
Oscar passes her a book he's been holding in his lap.
The police tried to take this as evidence, but I didn't want to steal it from you. And they decided it wasn't actually important. I guess it's no marked up Catcher in the Rye.
Ms. Martin picks up the book.
The Odyssey.
Sorry I never got to finish it. I actually really like it.
Keep it. I still want to hear your insights someday.
She slides it back to him. There is the sound of knocking.
My parents must be here.
Ms. Martin gets up to leave. The Fates follow her. She hesitates before exiting.
That's it, huh? Truly moving performance, especially considering you ruined his life.
Don't let this define you, Oscar.
Ms. Martin exits, dialing a number on her phone as she does. Scene 3. Lights up on the same set. Ms. Martin is working at her desk. The Fates are sitting off to the side, a bit more distant from Ms. Martin than before, but still present.
Come in.
Hi, Miss Martin.
Hi, Maria. What happened
to Oscar?
Maria, I can't.
I know, and I can guess what happened, but I just feel really bad. Oscar is a really nice person, Miss Martin. He wouldn't do what he did without a good reason. I kind of feel like I snitched on him.
Aw, just like we did.
I know what you mean. Actually, I could use your help.
With what?
I want to start some kind of program in honor of Oscar to make this school a more friendly, safer place. I was hoping you might want to help.
That sounds amazing. What did you have in mind?
Well,
Why does she still want to talk to us? We don't have any good ideas.
If we even had a good idea, I'm pretty sure the school is way too underfunded. Where would we get the money?
Message from unknown number. Confirming therapy appointment with Dr. David on Wednesday, August 26th.
Actually, I'd like to hear your ideas. I have a feeling you know what needs to change around here better than I do.
Then why don't we get started?
Lights down. End of play. Together by Aja Lyons.
Don't nobody care. Or what you want to wear. Just don't be a hoe.
Shay, don't be mean. What's going on?
So basically, Aaliyah was like, I wonder what I should take to school. I gotta find a man, you know. And Shay said, it don't matter, she ugly anyway. And then Aaliyah was like, be serious. I don't want to look like a hoe. And then Shay told her not to be a hoe.
I really don't know why Shay is so mean to me. Like, I try to be nice and sweet or whatever, and all she do is bully me.
She loves you, Leah. She's just naturally mean.
What you mean I bully you? Girl, this ain't bullying. If you want me to, I will.
I'm just confused why you're clowning me.
Y'all hear something?
Bro, for real, get off my ass.
Ain't nobody on your ass, Aaliyah. Stop being a pussy.
Whoa, there's no need for all that.
She's just fucking with you, Leah. You know that.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know why she bullied me so much today. Like, damn, girl, let me breathe.
Gotta give you something to remember before we leave.
It's weird, ain't it? We graduated today, and I still feel the same.
Yeah, aren't we supposed to feel like
Hey, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Wilbury Theater Group, and we have a brief moment of technical difficulties. We are going to restart a computer, and we will be right back with you in just a moment.
Don't nobody care. Or what you want to wear. Just don't be a hoe.
Shay, don't be mean. What's going on?
So basically, Aaliyah was like, I wonder what I should take to school. I gotta find a man, you know. And Shay said, it don't matter, she ugly anyway. And then Aaliyah was like, be serious. I don't want to look like a hoe. And then Shay told her not to be a hoe.
I really don't know why Shay is so mean to me. Like, I try to be nice and sweet or whatever, and all she do is bully me.
She loves you, Leah. She's just naturally mean.
What you mean I bully you? Girl, this ain't bullying. If you want me to, I will.
I'm just confused why you're clowning me.
Y'all hear something?
Bro, for real, get off my ass.
Ain't nobody on your ass, Aaliyah. Stop being pussy.
Whoa, there's no need for all that.
She's just fucking with you, Leah. You know that.
Yeah, I know. I just don't know why she bullied me so much today. Like, damn, girl, let me breathe.
Gotta give you something to remember before we leave.
It's weird, ain't it? We graduated today, and I still feel the same.
Yeah, aren't we supposed to feel like grown?
I don't feel grown at all.
It's been 8 years already?
Yeah, we've been friends for about 8 years now.
Hey, Yana, you remember when Chris, little ugly ass, had a crush on you?
Y'all, stop laughing. It ain't funny. He was obsessed with me.
Please, Diana, give me a chance. I love you.
Please.
Please.
Y'all, stop.
Ayana's embarrassed.
Okay, Miss, I'm gonna marry Coach Johnson.
Yeah.
Don't do this, girl. Party fucking hard. I'm gonna go get some water. Give me a plate.
Thanks, B.
You good?
It's crazy to think that it's been 8 years already. I feel like just yesterday we was in Miss Walker's class.
That broad was crazy as a bitch. I swear to God.
She was old as a bitch, too. We was talking about Miss Walker old ass.
Oh, bro. 4th grade was wild.
Dead ass, but it was good, you know?
Y'all hear what happened with Marcus and his girl?
Nah, what happened?
Didn't he, like, beat on her or some shit?
Yeah, her brother came home to him hitting on her.
Damn, bro, that's fucked up.
I just saw Unc talking to him about how to treat a woman. He looked so miserable.
Y'all, I ain't trying to front, but I'm hella scared.
What you scared of?
Of college and growing up and shit. Like, just yesterday, we was in 4th grade, for the first time. And then we had our graduation party. Like, we didn't have enough time to figure shit out.
I get that, sis, but that type of mindset is going to get you caught up. Don't think of it as the end of high school. Think of it as the beginning of something new, of adulthood.
But I don't know what comes with it. That's what I'm saying. I haven't had time to figure out what adulthood is yet.
Girl, we got plenty of time. We'll figure it out together. Promise.
Thanks, y'all. I ain't gonna, like, make this a sad moment.
Girl, you good. Honestly, you should be excited about going to college.
What you mean?
You can finally get away from that ugly-ass boyfriend you got.
Ha ha. You know he ain't my boyfriend. We just talking.
You see how she ain't say he wasn't ugly?
Leave him alone. He ain't ugly.
He ain't cute either.
Whatever. Y'all just hard to please.
You just like ugly niggas.
But I'm low-key excited under all the fear.
Honestly, same. Like, I'm excited to not be in this dingy ass neighborhood no more.
Dead ass. I mean, I will always love this place, but it don't give us no options.
You're right, but I mean, I wouldn't say it don't give us no options. We just don't have enough opportunities. We got plenty of time to think about the future and shit. Let's just enjoy this, alright?
You right?
Where's she going? Alright. Yo, y'all remember when Basin made us learn that dance with her?
Yeah, she thought Prince was gonna marry her. We used to fight over him all the time.
Y'all was sleeping on my man Prodigy.
So y'all just gonna act like Rock wasn't the finest one in the group?
Y'all hoes blind, for real.
Ma'am, you can keep Miss Ray Ray, okay?
Y'all, he don't look like a girl. Y'all blind.
Yeah, we're here for you whenever you're ready to come.
Ha ha, thanks.
Who's that?
I don't know. One of y'all recognize that car?
No.
It's fine, they're probably just driving by. Relax, it's just a car.
I'm just trying to see who is in there, Shay.
Well, can you?
Nah, not yet. Wait!
Are y'all good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Who the fuck was that?
I don't know. Whoa, what the fuck?
That bitch shot Hermione.
What? No, stop playing. Shay, get up. This ain't funny. Get your ass up, Shay. Shay, stop playing.
Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Leah, where was she shot? Holy shit, holy.
Oh my god.
We need to get somebody.
Okay.
I'm finna call somebody for help.
It's okay. She's gonna get you help. You'll be alright. I promise. You'll be alright again. You're okay, Shay. You're gonna get to the hospital and you're gonna be okay. Alright?
Yana, I'm sorry. I should've. I didn't say. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, you didn't know.
Hello? I'm at 4535 Bradbury Drive, and my friend just got shot. No, ma'am, we're having a graduation party, and somebody just rode up here and shot her. Yes, ma'am. 15 minutes? Okay. Please hurry.
It's okay, Shay. You're alright. I promise. You're good. You're safe.
Hullabaloo by Sarah Schechter. While the audience gets seated, Joshua Fit the Battle of Jericho by Mahalia Jackson and Big Iron by Marty Robbins play on repeat. Hunter's intro, lights dim, regular, rolling under, remastered by Bessie Jones begins to play. A collage of firearm outlines is projected to fill the curtain, almost glowing. Lights come on and Hunter enters, possibly through a tent flap. He taps the curtain with his cane and the gun projection goes away. Drums, fanfare, or circus music sounds. He addresses.
Damn it. That's supposed to happen the other way around. Hello. Welcome to Zoom this evening, gents and ladies. I am Hunter, also known as The Hunter, also known as Hunter Hank, and I am your ringmaster, your leader, your uncle, your guide, and gent for this here traveling show. I sure am glad you put down your dime to see Hunter's Great Hullabaloo, the greatest show not just in the world, but in all of history. I am wordsmith and ringleader for the brilliant acts you'll be seeing tonight. I'll show you stories of this land you're sitting on and the beast that earned it and what exactly made it so great. While our acts are getting ready, you enjoy your peanuts and popcorn. I have a riddle for y'all. You gotta guess who I'm talking about. Whoever can put a name to the individual I'm describing will get a surprise.
Turns around and gets lost in his riddle, growing increasingly deranged. No longer cares about the comfort of his audience.
I'm American, like white crosses, red blood, and blue lives. I put the buckshot in your beef, the ball in your brain. Who was it that hushed the griot, shot Lincoln, the King, and the Kennedys too? It was me, spreading like a fire on your prairie, manifest destiny. Fathered by Saxons and mothered by Angles, raised by the colony, devourer of pheasant, pig and partridge, boars and bobcats, hippos and lions too, oh my! Conquered King Phil, but rebuked by Pontiac. I beat steel, germs beat me. Faithfully at the side of Daniel Boone and Jesse James, America fell in love with my voice years ago. Built to kill, but fun for toys. 6-shooters, powder caps, I dance on screens. Johnny Appleseed might have well-planted bullets because I am everywhere. Maybe I won't be in the news for a while, but I'll be around. I stand my ground. Held by panthers or knights, you can try and coerce me with fire, water, and brute force, but my favorite amendment lets me do whatever I want. I am well-oiled, ready to go, heavy with powder, the big iron on your hip, semi-automatic and rapid fire, double-barreled, always loaded. What's my name? Gatling, Smith, Wesson, Remington, Coke, Heckler, Colt, Beretta. Call me the devil, but I'm just metal and wood. Who am I talking about?
He slumps, facing his feet. He reaches behind his back very slowly.
Me! I'm talking about me, Hunter Hank, Uncle Sam, Brother Jonathan. I'm everybody. Anybody get it? Nobody got it, but that's okay. Sit tight for the grandest show in history. All for you.
He ends with an Uncle Sam-esque point to the audience. The boys enter dressed in colonial settler clothing.
Act 1.
Juggling and dances, colonial times.
I now present the Juggling Jamestown Boys.
Hunter hits the curtain with his cane, and Federal Overture by Hesperus Early Music Ensemble begins to play. Homer and Mel begin to do a dance in a classical colonial style to the music. Hunter speaks along.
Muskets, pistols, long rifles, knives, bayonets, tomahawks, axes, swords, sabers, polearms, and cannons, shot molds, tinder lighters, and cartridge boxes too. Taking it back to the beginning, we had tools to get what we wanted all the back when we first got here. Among other things, guns really helped us expand, especially at first.
As he speaks, the blood map appears on the curtain. Red splotches like blood spread across the map, Jamestown to the 13 colonies, showing the growth of the United States from 1607 to 1853.
How many years was that, Mel?
264 years.
Good boy. When was the first gun, Homer?
The arquebus, a long-barreled musket-like weapon, was most likely the first personal firearm on mainland America. Columbus and other early explorers were probably the first Europeans to bring firearms to the New World.
The boys pull out balls and begin to juggle.
In the late 18th century, the Anglo-American settlers break up from Britain came alongside the slaughtering of entire families without distinction of age or gender. This was the annihilation of what tribes, boys?
The boys start to toss the juggling balls back and forth. Their juggling display grows more and more impressive, getting taller and taller.
Cherokee.
Muskogee.
Delaware.
Seneca.
Mohawk.
Miami.
And Shawnee.
That's right. White settler militias expanded the boundaries of the 13 colonies. Now, boys, in 1658, your home state of Virginia ordered every single settler to own a firearm. The government even provided loans for those who couldn't afford a weapon. What mean?
Taking land is an individual and collective right.
A well-regulated militia.
Good. What else?
Sacred right to arm bears.
No, Homer.
No women unarmed.
No man unarmed. Militias and armed households for the control of the land. What did I teach you to?
Every man is a soldier.
Say it again.
Every man is a soldier.
Again! Every man
is a soldier.
Homer waves the boys off stage, still saluting. They begin to march off stage.
Act 2.
Beasts and gunslingers.
The boys exit. Hunter hits the curtain to stop the music.
Well, we've touched on covering the land, but how about controlling it? Hunting is a classic pastime, one of my favorite, a good way to keep things under control.
Homer hands Hunter a whip, taking away his cane. Crack. On the curtain, the outlines of circus animals connected by chains run past. Sounds of a lion roaring, chains jingling, an elephant blowing its trumpet. Crack. A stampede of buffalo pass. Sounds of buffalo stampeding. Crack. A stampede of children pass. The sounds of children running and screaming. Hunter shakes his head and hits the curtain until the kids disappear.
Oops, things get a little crazy back there. Anyways, I've realized animals are smelly and ornery and really aren't that entertaining. We already killed all the buffalo, and no matter what anyone says, giraffe jerky is not nice. But you know what is? Bloodshed.
Crack. Hunter tosses whip off stage. I Walk the Line stereo version by Johnny Cash begins to play. The boys enter in cowboy clothing and holsters. Mel hands Hunter his cane. The three of them shuffle to the music.
Yippee-ki-yay.
And Oakley made sharpshooting overrated, but a good old western standoff ain't. I've got the best two gunslingers with us, hey, Homer and Mel, ready to shoot each other just for your entertainment. This act celebrates being an American in America, the land of low APR financing and under-seasoned meat. What else, fellas?
Supercuts.
Key lime pie and Twinkies.
CVS.
Diet soda.
Foot Locker.
Bass Pro Shops.
Walmart.
Goodyear tires.
That's right, boys. Now let's get a shooting.
Music fades. Homer and Mel face each other, slowly reaching back to holsters, only to pull out bananas.
What the hell is this?
Well, I can't actually have bullets flying about. You've got to do that in private. I've got plenty of other stuff, though.
Hunter gestures to baskets on the ground, one next to Homer and the other next to Mel, from which they pull out sticks shaped like guns, then hair dryers, then cell phones, then a toilet plunger and Bibles. They aim them at each other, then toss them aside.
What do I have to do to get a goddamn gun around here?
Aw, it's too dangerous, Homer. The audience will love you anyways.
Well, those were all things the police have shot people for holding.
Shut up,
Mel. It ain't a real gun show without guns, Hunter.
It ain't a real gun show without you two entertaining the audience.
It ain't about entertainment. It's about power.
Right. Just because you took us in doesn't mean anything. You just want to entertain. We just want to live the dream you promised us.
We're gonna find guns, old man.
We'll have fun with them.
They exit.
I lead this show because people should know about the glory of our nation. They should see history. They should see its greatness. They should see people for who they are.
He pulls out a red clown nose lipstick and white powder and begins to apply clown makeup as he speaks. He transforms into Uncle Sam. Projections appear on the blood map, showing the places he discusses.
You know, I'm a free thinker myself. I think about guns and what they do. I thought that maybe gun violence didn't necessarily start with gunpowder. Guns are their own beast, but just like race is born from racism, maybe guns are born from something besides metal. Maybe gun violence was set up to be a problem back when gunpowder reached Europe, and when a papal decree in 1455 permitted the Portuguese monarchy to seize West Africa and enslave its population. Maybe policing was set up to be a problem when slave codes from the 1660s in the British colony of Barbados extended the task of controlling enslaved Africans from overseers and enslavers to all white settlers. This meant collective racial policing was added to traditional English policing. This meant a tradition of settler terrorism supported by guns. Maybe the combination of guns and policing and industry were set up to be a problem with the capitalist firearm industry, which was among one of the first successful modern corporations. Gun proliferation and violence are among its legacies. But nobody's perfect, you know? I'm not just here to tell you my thoughts. I want you to be entertained. I want you to learn about guns. And the show must always go on. I'm sure you're all getting the best bang for your buck. The show must always go on.
Mel and Homer run on stage and hand Hunter his whip.
Act 3.
Freak Show and Civil War.
The boys exit. The sounds of country night play, crickets and cicadas. Hunter strolls back and forth with the whip. Crack. Mean Old Bedbug blues by. Fury Lewis begins to play.
This used to be my favorite part of the whole thing. Fresh from Antietam, Bull Run, Gettysburg, Shiloh, Vicksburg, the Freak Show.
Crack. He turns to the curtain. There are outlines of limping and disfigured men walking behind the cloth. Missing limbs, holding limbs, heads crooked. Hunter looks at the figures hungrily with wide eyes. They pass and the music and night sounds fade.
But then it became illegal to show those guys. So we have to let you see them from behind the curtain, but it's really not the same. They're crumbling and too old to see, but there are still bodies like theirs. And you want to see the blood and the gore? Just a peek. That's the thing about bad things. You can't help but watch. Sometimes that's what it means to be an American in America.
The blood map turns on, pulsing with every American mass shooting since 1999.
And sometimes it's not the gore you need to see, but just the constant possibility. That's what was entertaining about Annie Oakley's sharpshooting. She could shoot dimes from a man's hands, cigarettes from his lips, or the flame of a moving candle. She could shoot the middle of an ace of spades over her shoulder, looking in a mirror. Anything could happen, especially in Act 4, trapeze sharpshooting. Now this one is the greatest. It's my new favorite. Some folks will say America is committed to a social order predicated on human disposability, but I call it the greatest show in the greatest history of the greatest country on earth.
Basin Street Blues by Louis Armstrong begins to play. The boys enter dressed in silk and begin to perform incredible feats. Hunter and the audience should both be in awe. Hunter faces the audience, opening his arms. When the drum break begins, the boys mime shooting machine guns at Hunter, who shakes his body like it's being riddled with bullets. Then, the boys run forward with a gag. They come behind Hunter. Mel takes his whip and Homer gags him. They tie him down in the throne, and an apple is placed on his head. Mel cracks the whip until Basin Street Blues turns off, faltering a few times.
I hate jazz.
Me too, Mel. Well, I guess this is the real final act. You taught us it takes fame to be a man. It takes infamy. It takes lies. And you want to entertain them, don't you, Hunter? We're American like white crosses, red blood, and blue lives. You put the buckshot in our beef, the ball in our brain. Who was it that hushed the griot, shot Link, the king, and Hunter too?
Mel cracks the whip, and Stuck in the Middle with You by Steeler's Wheel begins to play. Mel pulls a mirror out of the sack and sets it in front of Hunter. Mel and Homer pull white robes out of their clothes and put them on. Homer pulls out a gun-shaped package from his robe. Homer hands it to Mel and puts his hand on Mel's shoulder. A red laser target lights up on Hunter's forehead. The curtain finally lifts up, revealing a field of objects: a baby crib, a dummy at a high school desk, a white cross, a rainbow flag, a Torah, a teddy bear, and a chair, all with their own laser targets aimed at them. The light gets brighter and brighter, focusing on the curtain, now an enormous American flag hanging above everything at the center of the stage. The lights get brighter and brighter and brighter until the room is flooded with white light. End. Ghost Gun by Olivia Ridley.
You see me? You see me? My flesh is rotting. My flesh. I got a gun now. Of course y'all see me. You all couldn't help but see me now. Y'all scared shitless. So you sit waiting for the villain's monologue before he shoots you, before he shoots the heroes. And you want there to interrupt. But who's hero and who's villain? Really? You want a reason. No, you want a story. Yeah, you want a real sob story, or just a good one. One worth your last few minutes on Earth. You ask for the tragic backstory. You hear me start. Poverty, gangs, blah, blah, blah. What's new, black boy? We want something new. Something fresh, something exciting. So what about Black Boy gets a gun? Black Boy gets power. Black Boy gets seen. Black Boy can command a room like I'm a rich billionaire CEO or something, in a room with his insects for employees, telling them who's getting fired and who's not. You can find that same kind of power in a gun, man. Same damn thing. And it's a hell of a lot easier for a black boy to get a gun than for him to become any kind of CEO. You ask me why? Why the gun? Why now? And you'll know with time. But I can tell you what it's not, apparently. Did y'all know black boys can't get mental illness? Apparently that mentally ill shit don't apply to brown skin. Anxiety, depression, bipolar, addiction, they don't count when they occupy black bodies, especially not addiction. No, that's not an illness. It's just constant replenishment of good that also happen to be a little bad, right? Because when you alive, when you really alive, the ugly is inescapable. It runs in rivers, in blood-soaked streets. It hangs low in the smoggy, cancer-filled air. It floats in the harsh stench of urban decay, because that's what the hood is like sometimes. And that's all y'all see about it, too. Something dirty, something rotting. And y'all still dare to smile. The thing is, you don't see it. Because if you saw it, if you really saw it, you couldn't smile. Those addicts, they see it. They're alive. Shocked back awake every single time that needle hits their vein. So that's where they got their good. They couldn't handle the bad. They're weak like that. But me, I wouldn't miss your slow, steady, silent destruction. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm stronger than that. I'm better than that. So I sat silently watching you bring yourselves and everyone around you to ruin. But no one saw me, though. Really saw me. I mean, see, I gotta be a new kind of invisible, because y'all still saw me. Oh, you definitely saw me. The more I hid my face, the more scared you were. So you saw me to keep yourself safe. And that's the only reason you wanted to see me, to be cautious. My kind of invisible is a little different. Like you can't help but notice me in a room, but I could get shot in the street tomorrow and nobody would look twice, kind of invisible. You see it, sure, the crack of the bullet, the sharp bend in my knees, the dark, wet pavement, the stillness. You'd see it, sure. But there's no shock there. The fall of the black bodies, that's just a side effect of living in the ghetto, right? It's their fault for living there, for getting all wrapped up in it. There's no outrage, just a vague, unpleasant taste in your mouth. You change the channel. That's where the invisibility comes in. It would mean nothing to you. It's too common. It lacks shock factor. Just to be expected of such a violent, aggressive race, right? They're the reason the ghetto's like that in the first place. Why it makes you feel uncomfortable and unsafe. It's not poverty that gives rise to crime. No, it's them. Why pretend it amounts to more than what it actually is? Something ugly. Something born from their own inherently ugly race. Decomposition is a natural process. Why try to stop it? I am disgusting. I know it too. And y'all made sure I did. And that disgust, that repulsion, it seeps into your veins and consumes your body. Tumor. And I've started to rot. And no one wants to come near rotting flesh. That's my kind of invisible. I don't mean nothing to no one. You all could go to hell. It's me. I am the only one who sees anything, and no one seems to understand that. I'll stand here and I'll monologue about the death, about the destruction, about how you all are doomed, how you are sprinting toward your demise, and you won't hear a thing. I am the only one. I'm the only one who listens. I'm the only one who sees. I'm the only one who knows. I am all seeing. I am your God. You know, I could have shot you all already. Y'all saw my gun. That's how I introduced myself before, remember? I'm sure that's all y'all could look at. Still missing my flesh, as always, my face, my body. Distracted by something flashy or something shiny. Something with power, like a gun. But I don't mind. In fact, I get it. But in all your staring and all your awe, y'all look close enough. You notice anything? Tiny little design, a little detail. Orange tape is fake. And so my power, it dissipates in thin air like it never was. I'm back to being nothing. But at least I got y'all's attention, right? Are you listening? Because I need you to hear me say, killing you all would do no good. I don't need a gun, and y'all don't need bullets in your head. Because get this, y'all been dead. I seem to be the only one who sees this shit. We are crumbling. We are doomed. Because y'all spill blood and invisible ink. Not to hide it from anybody else but yourselves. God forbid you see a little red, worry your little heads about the ugly, and in not seeing it, you perpetuate the ugly. You become the ugly. You wake up, kill a little bit, all done with empty eyes and an absent smile. wipe your bloody hands at the end of the day, go to bed, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat. Because you don't have to see the ugly. You have the privilege of choice, but the ugly is my entire life, man. It's all I am, it's all I see. The ugly. I can't change channels like y'all can. I watch black bodies fall whether I want to or not. And if or whenever I'm shot by somebody, when my black body falls, when my knees bend sharp, when I'm suddenly still, I will bleed. And it will be red. And it will be sure. And it will be inescapable. I will lie there crooked, body mangled. And the sight of it will be something unbearable. Bleeding black bodies are ugly. And it's not the blood that makes me that way. It is the black. I am the ugly y'all seem to need to shield yourselves from. Steeped in it like a fucking tea bag. And that's the only way you live. You all killed yourselves so you wouldn't have to look at it. But me, I stare ugly right back in its eyes. God doesn't step down from ugly. God can't. God is ugly. So I'll cock my ghost gun. Because that's all I need. Y'all are dead with or without a metal bullet in your head. Fuck this. You know I got the real thing back home. Because this glittering black metal, the power, this primal obsession to kill so swiftly is intoxicating, man. So I say, give me something to suit. Let me utilize this power. And I think to myself, if everybody's dead already, if everybody's gone, who's left to shoot then? It's not fair, you know? That I can smell your rotting insides. Flies gather in your stomach, seduced by the white and green spores that have blossomed like flowers in your ribcage. But somehow they've missed the flesh and it remains pristine, untainted, approachable. Y'all get to be happy, you know? But y'all are blind. Gouged your own eyeballs out. Talking and laughing about nothing. Completely and utterly dead. How can it be fair that even though all y'all are the dead ones, that mine is the only corpse rotting?
Guns in Dragonland by Iceland Grayson. A school bell rings. Sounds of children shouting and laughing is heard. It's recess time. Lila, a young girl, bolts on stage, grabs a stick from off the ground, and runs to a piece of playground equipment. She stands on top of it triumphantly.
I am Lila Gordon, the Princess of Dragonland. And you shall listen to me, dragon! Oh, Toucan?
Did I get you this time?
No, of course not. You never do. You don't scare me, beast. You haven't scared me since we started playing together on the first day of school. I feel like it's my job as the Princess of the Dragons to not be afraid of any dragons.
I suppose you're right. One of these days I'll catch you off guard. Hey, what are we doing today, Lila?
We can climb the castle spire of the jungle gym.
Nah, we did that Wednesday.
We can play fireball.
No way I threw my wing out last time we played. This 509-year-old physique isn't what it used to be.
Oh yeah, you got it caught in the soccer net. I remember going to the nurse for you, but she wouldn't give me ice for you because it was a waste.
Ugh, that's right, no good non-believing crone.
Sounds of children playing together are heard.
Say, what are they doing over there with that ball? It looks pretty dangerous and violent. Let's go play.
No, I don't want to play with them.
Oh man, it looks so fun. Why not?
They've been mean. I don't really want to talk about it.
Well, you know you can tell me anything, right?
Yeah, I know. That's why I'd much rather play with you.
Lila eyes the empty swing set.
Ooh! Can we have flying lessons?
Well, maybe for a little bit. I don't want to waste our whole 30 minutes on something too dangerous.
Yes!
Lila runs over and stands on top of a swing. Toucan stands behind her and begins to push. Lila awkwardly gains height. When she's at an average distance, she jumps off, falling to the ground gracelessly.
Oh, Gorgon brains, I knew this was a bad idea. We really should have learned after the last 5 times it ended this way. Where does it hurt?
My leg, my knee.
Oh, gotcha. Let me just do my thing.
Toucan mystically heals Lila's leg.
Thanks, Toucan. I just don't understand why flying never works for me.
Oh, Lila, we've been over this. Humans can fly about as well as a phoenix can swim.
Well, I want to be the best flying human. How did you get your wings?
It's a pretty long tail.
Don't feel bad. I love your tail. It's so nice and warm, and it feels like a pillow made out of jeans and old people skin.
No. I mean a tale, like a story. It's a pretty long, boring story.
Please, with the fish on top.
Well, all right, the fish on top convinced me. If you must know, it was my 300th or so birthday, and I was trapped deep in this cave of the goblins, and we had to travel to this distant land. And
100? That's like 300 more years away until I get my own wings.
Hey, look at you. Someone's been paying attention in math. Well, personally, I don't believe that age has anything to do with it. You see, in that cave, I helped those goblins to find the magic amulet of peace. Or something. It's a long story. But anyways, I got my wings that day because I performed a valiant action.
That's how I'll learn to fly. I'll get my wings when I perform a gelatin action.
Valiant, hun.
Come on, let's go perform a valiant action before recess is over. I already see kids lining up.
All right, well, you're the boss, princess.
Toucan, right here. There's 1,001 army of insectoids who want to steal the kingdom's food. We have to stop them.
Lila eagerly runs over to a nearby ant pile. She prepares to stomp on it.
Whoa, hold your centaurs. These hungry insectoid soldiers aren't doing anything wrong. They're completely defenseless. How would you feel if someone that was 100 times bigger stepped on you?
I wouldn't like it very much.
You wouldn't like it very much. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Toucan, this is useless. There's nothing battalion to do here, and I can already see kids going inside.
Valiant. And these things take time. I'll see you tomorrow, girly Q. Pay attention in math.
No, wait! Toucan! I just got an idea. What if I hid here? We could have so much more time to think of heroic things to do.
Oh, what a fun idea! Let's do it!
Lila hides underneath Toucan's wings.
Awesome! We did it! Now what?
I was gonna ask you the same thing.
A distant, discombobulated, semi-mechanical roaring noise stops the duo.
Whoa! What was that?
No idea. I don't see any dark clouds. It can't be an angry thunder dragon.
Maybe it's a hurt unicorn!
Oh, no, that didn't sound like any unicorn I've ever heard before.
Are you okay, Toucan? I've never seen you so nervous before.
What? Oh, yeah. I guess I'm just a little uneasy is all.
Lila hugs Toucan from behind.
I love you, Toucan. There is nothing to be afraid of.
I love you too, Lila. Your hugs make me feel like I can do anything.
Good, because I have a feeling that our next quest has to do with that noise.
Oh, all right. I guess we're going into the school after all, huh?
Yep. Let's go save that creature. Or defeat it. Whichever comes first.
Whichever comes first. Oh, hang on. Your sword, princess.
Ah, yes. My story sword. The most valuable relic in all of Dragonland. Now that I have my weapon, let's be off.
How are we traveling today, co-pilot Lila?
I think we should teleport today, co-pilot Toucan. Over.
Sounds like a plan. Prepare for takeoff. Over.
The duo begin to spin in place as if they're teleporting. They are interrupted by the same sound from earlier, only it's a bit more clear. Distant screams. Toucan lands on their butt.
Crash landing, mayday, mayday. Oh, anything but that awful sound again.
Only it was different this time. I think I heard people scream. Oh, Toucan, we gotta save them! Maybe they lost their magic amulet of peace, like in your story.
It could be many things. Many things a young princess is not prepared for. My worry is that this is the mark of a death dragon. They've become more and more common in recent years.
Whoa! Death dragon? Awesome!
No, not awesome. Terrifying. Death dragons hurt innocents purely because they can. I don't want you to get involved with a beast like that. We should go somewhere else.
Toucan, if I'm ever going to be the perfect princess of Dragonland, I need to perform my valiant action and earn my wings. This is the perfect opportunity. I feel like you don't even want me to.
Of course I want to, Lila. I just have a nasty feeling.
I'm going in. They need me.
Lila, I'm very sorry that running is not the game you want to play right now, but sometimes we have to play games that we hate.
What if it's not a death dragon? Why would a death dragon ever kill another dragon?
Your guess is as good as mine.
Well, if it's a death dragon, like you say it is, we can use our power of friendship to make him good, you know?
Oh, you might be onto something there.
If we can show it our friendship power, then we can save Dragonland and the school.
You're right. Come on, let's teleport in there, quickly.
The lights inside the school are completely shut off. Lila stumbles into a locker. It is dead silent as she continues to explore her space.
Hello? Where did everyone go? Toucan, I'm scared.
Oh, honey, there's nothing to be afraid of here.
Toucan! Where are you?
Lila, I don't believe we're playing hide and seek, are we? I'm right here.
I want Mommy! I want Daddy! Where are they? This isn't normal!
Lila, I'm right here. Listen to me, Lila!
The light on Lila dulls. She has been sucked back into reality. Toucan tries to console her, only to find that they no longer can touch her. Footsteps. Lila reacts to the unseen death dragon. A low growl reverberates the room. He is the epitome of what should be feared. She looks up at him.
I am Lila Gordon, Princess of the...
The sound of a cocked gun is heard. The trigger is pulled, emitting a massive, ear-shattering dragon roar. Lila has been shot. Complete blackness. Eventually, a light starts to grow on Lila, ending in a spectacular burst of flickering light. With the return of light emerges Lila's new wings. Lila, now reawakened, has completed her valiant action. Toucan and Lila can now see each other again. They embrace.
I am Lila Gordon, and I was the Princess of the Dragons.
Lila looks at the sky above her and prepares to fly upwards.
Epilogue. Since we began, 11 Americans have been shot and wounded. Five more were killed with guns. And it's likely that one of those deaths was someone under the age of 19. Each of these plays was around 10 minutes. 10 minutes isn't all that long, and to address something as huge as gun violence, 10 minutes might not feel like enough time at all. But on October 1st, 2017, 10 minutes was long enough for a gunman to kill 60 people and wound 411 others in Las Vegas. And on December 14th, 2012, 8 years ago today, half that amount of time, only 5 minutes, was long enough for a gunman to kill 20 children and 6 adults at Sandy Hook Elementary School. If we live in a country where so many lives can be stolen in 10 minutes or less, then you must believe that 10 minutes of a moving story can also be enough. Enough to change hearts, and enough to change minds. Because if numbers and statistics were enough, we wouldn't all have to be here to say enough.
Yay! Thank you, actors and directors and Wilbury Group for hosting the Enough readings. That was such a powerful, powerful event. I am going to invite, I hope that we have some people that will want to stick around and discuss on chat. the plays that we have seen, I'm going to invite Christine Bendoni on to the Zoom with me. She is the volunteer chapter lead for Moms Demand Action Rhode Island, and we are going to spend just about 30 minutes or so having a little bit of a discussion about the stories that we've just heard. The fact that they're from youth voices is so powerful and is something that strikes me every time I hear the words coming out of these young actors' mouths. And we're also going to hear a little bit about her work with Moms Demand Action Rhode Island and talk a little bit about how perhaps theater and how performances like this can help spark people's interest in getting more involved with organizations like hers or organizations that might be in your city or your state. And we're going to hear just a little bit more about all of that wonderful thing, and hopefully hear a little bit about what you can do to be involved and what your first steps might be in speaking up about this very important issue. So I'm going to ask the chat, but I'm also going to ask you, Christine, and listening to these stories and seeing these performances by our actors, how did it make you feel hearing about all of these different perspectives surrounding gun violence, especially from the understanding that the playwrights, again, for all of these shows, are middle and high schoolers. And so this is what they're seeing and this is what their reaction has been. And these are the stories that they're wanting to tell. So if you could just speak a little bit about that, and people can drop in the chat what their responses are, their images or moments. Did these plays bring up any thoughts with you guys? What questions are being raised? You guys can just start dropping that in and we'll start looking at them.
Thanks, Meredith. It really, really powerful. I mean, I was crying through part of it, and so creative and so many different aspects and perspectives and ways to tell the stories about gun violence, so many different ways. And something that really made me really sad was that we have to tell these stories. Like it's an American issue. It's uniquely American. And it made me start thinking about COVID and how the response to it in our country was to buy more guns. Gun sales have gone up 94% since the start of the pandemic. And it's like, oh, there's a pandemic, let me buy a gun. That makes sense. So really, really powerful. So just these actors are amazing. And I think it's a really wonderful way to tell a story and to talk about how they're impacted by the gun pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was struck the first time I was reading through all of the different shows by the perspectives that we see and the different communities that we see represented, and the environments that we see the guns, from kind of the smallest little girl involved with a school shooting to drive-by shootings to a teacher and how a teacher responds and how teachers are always on edge as well. And so that is something that has really resonated with me. And I know that in rehearsals, in speaking with the high schoolers that I was working with that were acting in my pieces, it was really interesting for me to hear about how school has changed even in the decade or so that I have been out of high school, and how there are now metal detectors. And it is something that these students are just thinking of so much more readily and so much more often. And so that was interesting to me too. And that was a reason why it was so important, I think, to the Enough folks and to us to include young actors in the conversation, because their perspective was really so valuable in grounding us and making sure that we were telling these stories in a way that felt true to their experience.
Yeah. And And I forget the young woman's name who did, I guess she did the epilogue and the prologue.
That was
and,
Nora Matt. Yeah.
Right, with statistics and how many people died during the show and performance, and that is, school shootings and mass shootings are less than 1% of the total gun violence. I'm sure they know that because it sounds like they've done their research. Not to belittle that, and that's sort of what captures people's attention, but it is that daily gun violence that is killing and injuring, which I was really glad that she brought that up. The amount of people that are injured every day throughout our country, and there are many types of gun violence. So I'm really glad that she spoke about that.
Yeah, I think that the prologue and the epilogue did a really nice job of kind of centering and of focusing. And something that I spoke with her about when we were working through those pieces that I thought was really powerful was just in the epilogue, how you do have all of these statistics and you give the numbers first, and then it builds to, do you remember these two different incidences? And that really felt to me connected to the stories that we have seen, because those are also stories, and sometimes it takes that to really make something click. And so that was interesting too. The statistics are quite staggering, but I'm glad that they structured with that to make us aware of everything that has happened, even in the 90 or so minutes that we were performing, because it's just too much.
Yeah.
I'd love to go ahead.
No, go ahead. You'd love what?
I would love to hear after you go on with what brilliant thing you were just about to say, a little bit about, I think we can shift kind of a little bit to talking about Moms Demand Action Rhode Island, as well as I know that it is a national organization. And just talking about kind of from your perspective, how events like this one in the community can spark a conversation, can help raise awareness. If you could go talk a little bit about that, that would be, I think, great for our audience to hear about.
Sure. So Moms Demand Action is a grassroots movement fighting for public safety measures that can protect families from gun violence in America. Moms Demand Action, basically, we're a nonpartisan grassroots movement working to reduce all forms of gun violence. We are part of Everytown for Gun Safety, along with Students Demand Action and the Everytown Survivor Network. We are the largest gun violence prevention organization in America with 6 million supporters. So we work very strategically. We use evidence-based strategies to reduce gun violence in all its forms. And when I mean all its forms, it could be mass shootings, it could be domestic violence, suicide, which happens to be the number one reason people die from guns. So we work with local, state, and national level, to advance cultural shifts supporting gun safety. We were founded by a mom. Her name is Shannon Watts, but we are made up of moms and dads and uncles and sisters and anyone who is focused on reducing gun violence. Some of the things that we do is we support gun laws. We work with local, state, federal level to pass and enforce gun laws that save lives. So we're not anti-Second Amendment, but we are, pro-gun safety. We support local partners, so different organizations, and this would be like in every state, but we support, for example, so in Rhode Island, there's like the Nonviolence Institute. In Providence, there's a group in Woonsocket called the Watch Group, so we support these local partners because they're really like the violence interrupters in the local area. We elect gun sense candidates. So that's a big focus, especially, we just had a big election. So, people who are running can apply to be a gun sense candidate. And if they answer the questions correctly, we support them. We support safer gun storage, and we train and support our volunteers. So it's just a really great organization to be involved in if you are interested in becoming part of the gun violence prevention movement, because there's like through the Everytown for Gun Safety organization, there's just so many opportunities to be trained and to learn about how to end gun violence. So I can tell you, people how to get in touch with us if they're interested. You can text JOIN to 64433. And if you're a student, you can text STUDENT to 64433. So there's lots of ways to get involved and to become an advocate for safer gun laws. And then you asked my question about this performance
and community events in general. I know that in Rhode Island, and I think maybe in several other places, there have been kind of art installations that people have done to raise awareness. And so I'm just curious in hearing a little bit about more what you think that more public impact does.
Yeah, so our organization definitely, in terms of community partners and just getting the word out, we're always looking to do creative thing, not just one way to get this message out. We have I think I mentioned when we met earlier, there's a big event, who knows if it'll happen this year, I hope so, it will happen.
It'll happen.
On some level, called Wear Orange. And that happens in June. And last year, we actually, before the pandemic, we were going to be partnering with PVD Fest, which is a big creative time in Providence with lots of art going on, and we were going to be partnering with some organizations to bring the message of Wear Orange in a really artistic and creative way. So yes, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of space for performances like this to get this message out to our community.
And how do you see young people in the Rhode Island community and in your student groups interacting and being a part of the conversation? And do you have, I know that you've given out very nicely the number that students could text, but do you have any other thoughts or things that you've seen students notice to get the conversation started either in their schools or in their communities?
Yeah, well, so through Students Demand Action is sort of like the group that came up, after the Parkland shooting, and they have done. I'm just trying to think what they've done recently, but different outreach in the community. And there's also another group called Thoughts, Prayers, Action, which is more college students are involved in that. So yes, so they are definitely out there trying to advocate and get more people to join them to get the word out.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you. Is there anything else before we call it an evening that you would like to share with the audience? Any last words?
I think the most important thing is that I think people really need to pay attention when they hear about, a shooting, not just to pay attention when there's like a mass shooting. And I'm not saying, I don't want you to take this wrong, I'm not saying like that shouldn't be paid attention to, but that daily gun violence, and getting in touch with your elected officials and just being outraged about it, about sort of like our inner city gun violence that are killing, Black and brown people at a disproportionate amount, and to be outraged about it and to raise your voice and to, get in touch with your elected officials and your attorney generals and and your governors, and this, this isn't right, and we shouldn't live this way. And one phone call, one email, just keep pounding away at it. We will get there. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Mm-hmm. I want to thank you so very much for joining me. I think that was all really helpful, useful information. And I hope that some of our audience members will get involved and will sign up and will start volunteering. And I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I also want to give just like another round of applause for our actors and our directors and the Wilbury group for hosting this event. It's so important that we take time to talk about gun violence and difficult subject as a community, and so we can move the message forward and work together to go forward, and to have those conversations just be more present. I also want to encourage people an easy first step to get involved that Enough has set up, the sponsors of this reading. You can go onto their website and you can find out more about this project. I think their hope is that it will be something that keeps going. Unfortunately, I think that it is a subject that will remain kind of with us. And so I think that they want to continue to draw attention to it. They want to continue to work with young playwrights and young artists. And so I would go to their website, read about the project. There's also an open letter on the website that they've set up that addresses gun violence and that is being sent out to political figures. And so as an attendee of the event, we would encourage you to go and sign that. And you can find other ways to get involved in your community, whether it's through a group like Moms Demand Action, which is nationwide, as Christine has told us, or another grassroots community or organization in your community. We hope that you will take those first steps, reach out to your elected officials, and thank you all again so very much for joining us.
Thank you.
Good night.